Hello everyone, I'm Tanaya Vyas from IDC School of Design, IIT Bombay, India. I'm here to present my paper titled A Liquid Experience, Positioning and Writing as a Schoolscape Researcher. Schoolscape research increasingly adopts qualitative approaches that needs a varied set of participants who can provide honest and in-depth responses of the phenomenon under study. In the domain of schoolscape studies, research methods and barriers to data collection have largely been discussed in the context of the global north. To address this gap, this paper offers new insights from a qualitative schoolscape researcher in India on her fieldwork experiences. The current study is set in government schools of India, and the research objective is to explore teacher practices of developing schoolscape artifacts and activities related to environment education or EE. This paper aims to argue that there are challenges and dilemmas faced by the researcher due to her researcher identity and nature of the research objectives, along with the ground realities of urban Indian government schools. The concept of fluid or liquid identities is explored in this paper, challenging the binary definitions of the researcher strictly being an insider or outsider. The researcher in this study explores this concept of liquid identity with relation to participant notions of research objectives within the go-along method of data collection. The study was conducted for a year with 15 primary grade teachers across 4 government schools in Mumbai, India. Both sedentary interviews and walk-along conversations were conducted. EE was seen as a topic which is in trend, to which one is expected to keep up with, so the researcher was seen as a journalist. EE was seen as a topic which is marginalized in school exams, so the researcher was seen as wasting time on a topic which holds less value in exams. EE was seen as a topic which was associated with being ethical or moral, so the researcher was seen as an evaluator. In the above cases, the teachers and school authorities demonstrated reluctance and caution. The researcher was in a dilemma of whether to insist in helping with school activities and risk being seen as the guest expert of environment education due to her doctoral candidate position, or to stay detached from participating in the activities and risk being seen as the cold and awkward observer lurking around incessantly with the teacher. The researcher had to give in to the requests as she did not wish to withdraw her project by disturbing her relationship with the school. The researcher received invitations to conduct classes by herself in place of absent teachers and become an excursion guide for students. She faced a dilemma here. If she were to refuse the request, then she would risk withdrawal of the project. And if she were to accept the request, then she would be held responsible for any interactions with the students. So the researcher requested the principals to ensure that a teacher was always present with her, but her initiatives were unwelcome because of the limited teacher availability in the schools. This also negatively affected the teachers' intent to lend their time for future interviews and go-alongs. Whenever the researcher was asked by a teacher about her opinions regarding so-called good or bad environment education practices in front of the teacher colleagues or school principal, the researcher had to maintain a neutral position. However, lack of open conversation from the researcher's end sometimes led to participant discomfort. This situation disturbed researcher-participant rapport and led to laconic comments and superficial information from the participant, which affected the data quality. Sometimes the researcher was not sure whether to continue accompanying the teacher for longer stretches, which might affect data quality, and the researcher's methods could be seen as highly intrusive by the teacher and his colleagues, or wait it out, which might affect the continuity of discussions and rapport. The researcher realized that it was helpful to provide time gaps or breathing space in between go-alongs and also ensure regular follow-up conversations with teachers to check if they have any concerns regarding the discussions or the study. Navigating researcher agency and institutional positioning was an essential part of fieldwork. In one of the instances, the teacher appears to grant the researcher the insider status as she positioned the researcher's objectives with the vision of her school. As a result, the responses received were from a teacher who now spoke as the school ambassador. It is crucial to keep in mind that the interplay between positionality, power, and knowledge construction, as this experience showed how the data collection method might impact the data itself. In the absence of following reflexive practices, conflicts pertaining to performing one's identity frequently arise. This prevents qualitative researchers from taking stock of their roles in the field and the impact of identity-related decisions on their work. Researchers need to take into account possible encounters with these unknown terrains of being along during go-along methods and also acknowledge the emotional labor of participants in their study. The intricate interaction between the researcher's identity, geography, circumstance, and research objectives influenced the research process. Future research must consider reflecting on the dilemmas faced by researchers while conducting the go-along method in a variety of schoolscapes and with a variety of research objectives. Additionally, agential stances of the liquid researcher can be compared across various phases of the fieldwork duration. With this, I conclude the presentation and I look forward to your feedback. Thank you very much.